Hello, I'm Lucy. Welcome to Pantal's Yoga. We're going to practice a centering and grounding practice, which I really hope you enjoy. So we're going to start lying on our back, making sure that your feet are about hip width apart and your knees are bent. Just let yourself feel really comfortable on your back. Have your hands resting lightly on your belly. Softly close your eyes so that your gaze can be inward. And simply watch the rise and the fall of your belly as you breathe. Really nothing to do but observe the rising and the falling of the belly. And as you breathe in, you can witness a sense of feeling uplifted, a little rising. And as you breathe out, that sense of being grounded as the feet fall, the pelvis falls, feeling grounded into the floor beneath you. So just follow the breath in and out. And you might find you want to breathe in through the nose and out of the mouth. Just to settle the breath. And the uplifting floats just through the belly and then into the rib cage to the top of the clavicles, the collarbones. And the falling and the centering goes down through your belly button into the ground, into the pelvis, and the feet feel heavy. So just take a few breaths like this, bringing yourself into the present moment, shedding whatever activity has brought you here onto your mat, and preparing for this grounding and centering practice. And spend as long as you like simply doing this until you're ready to move. We're going to inhale and interlace the fingers and stretch the arms up above the head. And as we do, stretch the legs down the length of the mat so you can have a full body stretch and really enjoy pushing the flat feet way in front of you and stretching the arms way above you. And you can stretch one foot further than the other and just let the hips have a little stretch out as you almost sort of snake your way through into a little side stretch here. And then take an inhale, and as you exhale, return just to where you were, the hands back on the belly. We're going to tilt the pelvis, and as you tilt the pelvis up, the pubic bone lifts up and the lumbar spine flattens. And as you tilt the tail down, the lumbar spine lifts. And just flow that with the breath. So the inhale lifts the tailbone, and the exhale sinks the tailbone. So there's a lovely rocking in the pelvis. And we'll use this later in our cat movement. So just feel this tilt a few times as you breathe. Breathing in, tilting up. And breathing out, tilting down. We're going to step our feet quite close together. Once again, inhale the hands and lift the hands all the way up to the ceiling. And then draw the hands just to behind the head and let the head be really comfortable, as if you're almost ready for a sunbathe. Draw the feet nice and close. Take an inhale, and as you exhale, you're going to draw the knees to the right hand side and then look to the left and let the body just settle here. Have that same movement in the belly, the rising on inhale and the falling on exhale. And just see how your spine feels right now in this twist. The twist helps to bring fluid to the spongy discs between the vertebrae. Lengthening the spine, giving ourselves a little sense of freedom in the spine. So after the next exhale, just inhale, float yourself back to where you were. Take an inhale here. And as you exhale, the knees go to the left and the head goes to the right. And again, just see how the spine feels this way. Let yourself do any little minor adjustments that you need. You know, it's so important to make those minor adjustments so you feel comfortable in your own skin. Couple of breaths here. Settling and observing that observation, that curiosity that we have with our eyes closed, observing how we feel within. And this is the part of the practice that's the deepening inward. So after another inhale, this time we're exhaling, the belly comes down, the knees come up. Keep the feet nice and close together and check that your pelvis feels comfy on the mat, that your shoulders feel comfy. And then we're taking an inhale, and as you exhale, you're just going to open the knees to let the hips get involved. Draw the feet quite close together and really spread the toes and let them rest against one another, so the palms of the feet, the soles of the feet are glued together. And then we're going to slide the elbows down, release the head onto the mat, slide the elbows down. So you've got your arms out, it's a cactus shape of the arms. And let the elbows sink down and the hands sink down. So we're now going to feel this opening in the body. There's an opening in the knees, in the hips, an opening in the shoulders, in the chest. So breathe in here. And as you exhale, have a sense of closing as you draw the elbows and the little fingers together. As you inhale, you have this opening. And as you exhale, closing, navel draws down, centering into your belly. Another inhale, opening. And an exhale, closing. And then inhale fully out. Settle here. We're going to do one more twist. So breathe in, and as you exhale, the left knee comes to join the right, and then we're going to scarecrow the left arm down, which can be quite strong in the shoulders, so just feel how that is for you. The head then looks to the left, and you just settle into your breathing, observing how the feel of the spine, the feel of the twist, and the shoulder, particularly the left shoulder. When you're ready to inhale, come back to that lovely open position, open hips, open shoulders. And as you exhale, just roll to the other side. So the right knee meets the left, and the right arm comes down to this scarecrow. And again, it's strong in the shoulder, so just see how that feels for your shoulder. And you might look to the left and breathe here. And on the next inhale, you're opening back up and settling the body here. And this is a very lovely practice that you can do particularly for the digestive system. So if you want to practice a few more of those, please go for it. Enjoy that twist. But we're going to take an inhale. And as we exhale, we're going to hug into a lovely little ball. Really hug the knees in. Draw yourself into a little ball. And we're just going to stretch the back of the neck. So as you exhale, draw the forehead up towards the knees and just hug yourself into a little embryotic ball here. And then inhale, come back. We're going to cross our feet and hold the feet on the outside of the knees and try and really hug them in as close as you can. So I've got my right shin in front of the left, and I'm going to remember that because I need to swap them later. And we're just going to think about our belly here. Have a little roll right to left, but we're going to roll up to sitting and try not to let the feet touch the mat. So lift the feet, take an inhale as you exhale, roll all the way up. Lifting the knees nice and high, broadening the collarbones, but relaxing the neck. Taking an inhale here and then roll back down to where you were. And we're going to stretch out. So let's stretch the fingers and the toes all the way up to the ceiling and stretch all of the digits, the toes, the fingers, and have a little rotation in your wrists, in your ankles. Stretch the fingers. Don't forget the thumbs. We often forget our thumbs. So I had my right in top. Now I'm putting my left shin on top and I'm holding my feet again and I'm drawing my knees nice and high up into my armpits and just squeezing in here. And we're taking deep inhale, and as you exhale, roll up. Don't let the feet touch the ground. Draw the knees high up and come to sitting. So I'm going to turn around so I can face the camera. And we're going to sit really nice and comfortably and really, again, let yourself make those minor adjustments so you feel comfortable. So we're going to come back to this sense of centering and grounding. So as we inhale, we're going to raise the arms all the way up. And as you exhale, draw the hands down through prayer into the belly, feeling that sense of centering deeply in the belly, exhaling. Inhaling, lifting, uplifting into the chest, exhaling down into the belly. And one final time here, a deep inhale. And pushing into all the fingers, exhaling, the belly draws back to the lumbar spine. So we're going to go once more with this inhale. And then we're going to tilt to the right. So the right hand is coming down and the left hand is going to stretch over, the palm faces down, and really enjoy that side stretch. But really do ground this sit bone, the left sit bone, into the earth so that it gives you that bounce back and up so you can stretch the body all the way over. After an exhale, inhale the arms up, tilt all the way the other side. Exhale over the palms facing down, and you're rooting down through this sit bone, stretching over, letting the body really relax, but stretching the whole of this side of the waist. And then inhaling back up. And again, you can do that as many times as feels good for you and feels good for your side waists. We're going to practice a little mantra here. We're going to raise the arms up and turn the palms to face up to the ceiling. And have a sense of settling the shoulders down. So you're not hunching, you're settling the back of the shoulders down and broadening the collarbones. So we're going to take an inhale and an exhale into the belly. And then we're going to silently repeat to ourselves a mantra. I am who I am in this universe, whole and complete, grounded and secure. So that's it, 3 times. I am who I am in this universe, whole and complete, grounded and secure. So once more, I am who I am in this universe, whole and complete, grounded and secure. So bring your arms fully back up to the sky. Exhale the hands fully down, navel in. We're going to come to cat pose. So bring yourself round to the side, draw your knees behind you. I'm going to put my hair up. And in cat pose, it's so important that we think about the positioning of our body. So we're not struggling to get into a position where our hands are too far forward or our hips are too far back. So really enjoy getting into a simple cat pose so the practice has the most benefit. The eyes of the thumbs look at each other, the shoulders are below, the wrists are lying just below the shoulders, the knees below the hips, so that then the practice has its maximum benefit. So as we inhale, we're remembering that pelvic tilt. The tailbone's looking up to the ceiling and the sternum's coming forward, breathing in, but don't sort of hurt your neck. Don't overstrain your neck. So the sternum looks forward. And as you exhale, the pelvis tilts the other way and the chin tucks in. We're going for 3 of these, but you can go for as many as you like. One of the most fantastic restorative practices for our spine. Inhaling and exhaling. So this time as we inhale, we're going to come back to what we call a neutral spine, but obviously the spine has its fantastic curves down and up and down into the neck. So we're not trying to make the spine straight, just neutral. And we're sending the right toes behind and just pulse a little forward and back, which can feel really fantastic in the calf muscles. So just enjoy a little pulse as you spread the toes of the back leg and you're pulsing forward and back. And then when you feel ready to, we're inhaling the leg up, exhaling round knee to nose. Inhaling the leg up, rounding knee to nose. And one final time, stretching the leg behind you and knee to nose. Then slide those toes once more all the way behind you and push into the toes. Let the toes have a stretch as the fingers are too. So there's as much mat showing between your fingers and your toes as you can. And now we're going to work into the shoulder, the left shoulder. You inhale the arm up, big circle all the way and down again. 3 in total. Unless you feel that your shoulder needs more, and then why not? As many as you have time for or you enjoy. When you've done those, come back to your cat. Either another practice of your cat arches, or this time the left leg goes back. A little pulse, forward and back. Exploring how this calf feels. Perhaps a little tighter, perhaps a little freer than the other calf. Then we're going back to the lift, inhale, knee to nose and round. So explore, be inquisitive, have that really curious mind to how your body feels as you move. Excellent. Final one. Slide the toes back, push into the mat. Now this arm, inhaling forward and exhaling back. So you can explore the whole movement of your shoulder girdle here and enjoy how that shoulder feels. From here we're coming back to cat and we're taking an inhale, tipping the pelvis, and as you exhale you're rounding all the way down to child, all the way down. Let the body sink into the earth. We're going to come back to this pulsing idea. So as you inhale, lift up into TP'd fingers onto the fingertips. Let the rib cage just lift with the breath. And as you exhale, the hands are going to come down, the forehead's going to come down. You're going to feel grounded. Uplifted, breathing in. And grounded, breathing out. And again, really enjoy the sense that the breath actually lifts the body. You're doing nothing, it's the breath that's lifting the body. You're almost a passive observer. So if we're too uplifted, we could be high. And if we're too low, we could feel depressed. And part of yoga is about feeling balance and equilibrium between that feeling very lifted and very grounded. So again, as many of these as you have time for, until you decide that perhaps you want to practice the same cat practice or go a little deeper into down dog. So we're tucking our toes under behind us, inhaling, lifting the sternum forward, and then coming to your down dog as you lift the sit bones right up to the sky and then sink the heels right down into the ground. So we're back to this pulsing, which of course you can do with one leg in cat if you don't feel that you want to be practicing down dog. if we're in our down dog, we might decide to have a little stretch again, lifting the right leg on an inhale and knee to nose rounding on exhale. So enjoy this movement. And of course you could do this in cat if you prefer. Dog if you have a little more energy. And one more. And now we're stretching the leg up to the ceiling. And we're going to bring this right foot to just by the right hand. And then you bend the knee and you stretch the left heel away from you so we can practice our shoulders once more in this pattern. So of course this is then waking up the back, hamstring and calves, letting yourself build up a little upper body strength with the arm that's supporting you. So we come back from here either to plank or straight to down dog. For the other side, so a few little pulses. When you feel ready, the left leg lifts on an inhale. The left knee to the nose on an exhale. Of course, we can do this in cat, or we have the opportunity of working a little stronger in dog until we're ready to bring the foot forward, planting the hand down, reaching the arm up, and then into our circles, shoulder girdle stretching. So last time from here we stepped to down dog, and this time we're going to step the back foot forward and come to a forward fold. You could hold your elbows and hang. You could hold your big toes and draw the elbows out, just depending on how you feel. Take some deep breaths here. And this is a great opportunity to observe your toes and give them a good stretch and really feel the toes stretching and planting down, because our ability to ground ourselves mainly comes from our feet. We're going to come up through chair pose to have that really lovely sense of grounding, but also of centering into the belly, because we need our belly to help us. So as you inhale, reach the fingers forward, bend the knees deeply, raise the arms up, stretch the fingers, lift the spirits, and then exhale, sink all the way back down again, and maybe let the arms float behind you. We're going to do that again, but as you inhale, lift the toes as well. Lift the toes, sink deeply into your chair, breathe, smile, have spirits lifted. Take an inhale and sink, grounding yourself down, letting yourself be anchored into the floor. And just once more, deep inhale and a sigh, exhale. So this time we're going to come up through chair and we're going to come fully up to standing. So again, lift the toes, take an inhale. And as you exhale, sink the toes and the hands and straighten yourself up into Tadasana, our mountain pose. And make those minor adjustments that you need to make yourself really feel good standing. So we're going to come to a balance. I'm going to step to the side. And again, both feet need to be really rooted down into the floor for a balance. And we're going to practice the tree pose, which is a really beautiful centering, grounding posture. So shift your weight to the left side or the right, you choose, and bring the other foot up and decide where you're going to place the foot. So it might be okay for you to bring the foot quite high up and really have a sort of squidge factor of the heel into the thigh. That might not work for you, in which case you might even bring the toes down or the foot up. The only place not to put the heel is really on the knee, because that could push your knee out of placement. So decide where you're going to be, and we're going to again stretch the fingers into one another, broaden the collarbones, and breathe. Really soft breath, having this centered feeling in the belly, anchored into the feet, really letting yourself soften into your practice. Take an inhale. And then come out, and always remember to come out before you fall out if you can. So, both feet anchored down, Tadasana, thinking about the tilt of the pelvis, the lift of the pubic bone. Shift the weight to the other side, for me it's the right, and bring the leg to where it was again, the other side. So really think about really pushing the heel into the other thigh. You've got to have quite a bit of strength in your hip to do that. And then you bring the hands together, find a gaze point, a drishti point, something softly to look through, not at so it explodes, but look softly through it. And breathe. Collarbones broad. Remembering your center, your anchor. Take an inhale before you fall. Exhale down, rooting the feet down. We're going to come back to the ground, so I'm going to step back over here. As you inhale, come back up through your chair so you can reach the arms forward. And again, lift the toes. So all 20 digits, the fingers, the toes are all stretched. Breathe in and sink back down. Exhale. Make those minor adjustments that make this posture feel good for you. Really settle into it. And then we're lifting the heart. And depending, you can either step to down dog, giving you the wonderful opportunity to spend as long as you need to here. When you're ready to, come down to your cat pose. And again, you can spend as long as you feel you need to here. Until you stretch back into your child. Once more, you could have a little pulse here. And then when you're ready, we're going to roll up to kneeling. And from here, we're going to come into our restorative pose. So get ready with all your props. So we've set up a restorative practice here. So useful to calm our bodies, drop into our parasympathetic nervous system and have a real sense of true relaxation. This isn't watching the telly relaxation, this is true relaxation. So I've got a bench here, but of course it can be really comfortable to use your bed or your sofa or something. And we're going to elevate the hips so that the heart is a little lower than the hips. Be sure that your head's really comfy with something. Get your hips nice and up, raised onto your support, whatever you're using. Roll the knees up onto whatever's your high object, your sofa or your bed. Lie yourself down. Be sure that the whole of your pelvis is supported. Be sure that your knees are nice and supported on the support of your sofa, your bed, a chair. You might want your feet to be cozy and warm. Check that your head is comfortable. I'm using blankets so I can fold the blanket over and keep my hands toasty warm. And also you might want to cover your eyes. So I've got an eye pillow here. You might want to cover your eyes just so you can have that sense of dark. Really be fastidious about your comfort. Be really fussy, because the more fussy we are when we're in it, the more we can drop into that deep parasympathetic nervous system. So we're no longer rushing around in our fight or flight, nervous, anxious body, but we're in a very calm position where our body can function at its maximum, where we can digest, where we can settle, where our mind can drop as much as our body's dropped in this deeply anchoring practice. So our final mantra meaning mind protector, is the So Hum mantra. So once you're here, you might even want to set a timer so you can have your full 10 or maybe 20 minutes of practice. Once you're here, we're going to breathe in and recite silently to yourself the word so. And as you breathe out the word hum, silently, the mantra So Hum. And So Hum is a beautiful mantra that simply means I am who I am. So rest here for as long as you need, as long as you can. Certainly stay here for a good 10 or 20 breaths, but you could, if time allows, stay here for a good 10 or 20 minutes. Whenever you're ready to close, bring the hands back to the belly just to remind yourself of that central point of you, that very important center of you. So we're going to close our practice here. Enjoy your deeply relaxing restorative posture. And when you're ready, enjoy the rest of your day or sleep well.